The Play on Tabletop YouTube channel recently put out a video pitting two professional painters head-to-head in a 15-minute painting challenge. Sam Lenz was the judge, and after he selected a winner, he put out a challenge of his own.
World, if you're watching this, try timing yourself. Try this yourself. See what you can do in 15 minutes, see what you can do in 5 hours, see what you can do in 10 hours.
That video really got me thinking. I realized that I'd never challenged myself to try to paint within a strict time frame, let alone 15 minutes. So the model I'm using is the same one used in the challenge at Adepticon. It's a 3D printed file by CreatureCaster, and I'll link their website below. You'll see I first primed the model with the dark gray, but after realizing the model in the video were actually primed light gray or maybe even white, I prepared mine the same way as well. Personally, I find that challenges like this are great at motivating me, at getting out of my comfort zone and trying new things. Going into this, I only had a few real goals. The first was to cover the whole model and not leave any part unpainted. Second was to have at least some contrast and highlight so the model read well on the table. And then third was really just to rely more on wet blending and less on neatness or fine brush control. So I started on the base because I was concerned with running out of time while focusing too much on any specific details later in the process. Next, I undercoated everything except for the cape and the spear in Payne's Gray so that I could work up the contrast and layer up brighter green over the skin. And then I thought a pop of color on the head would really help draw attention to the face, so I used my lightest green for the upper facing parts on the skin and a yellow ochre for the eyes. Lastly, I worked on blending some of the colors on the clothes and adding highlights to the wraps on the spear, the blade, and a little bit on the belt. So what did I learn? Undercoating was huge in saving time and allowing for more time to be spent on some of the smaller details like the eyes or adding highlights. Choosing an area I highlight like the head and spear can draw attention away from areas that I spent less time on like the legs and the cape. And I don't need to spend hours per model to get a tabletop ready, and this got me thinking, why can't I go back to a speed painted model and bring it up to a higher painted standard? If the base layers are down and maybe even some shade or highlight, how much effort would it take to elevate a speed painting into something that I'm really happy with? And that's exactly what I did. All right, so we have the speed painted model, the one that I did in 15 minutes, and now I'm going to spend approximately another 20 minutes here getting it up to a much higher standard. First thing I did was apply a wash to fill in those recesses, all the shading that was needed. Next, I went about highlighting, primarily with the skin tone here, and I even changed the color of the cape or cloth, added some red, magenta even, really just to add some contrast because it was a little lacking. The colors were a little too samey. We had desaturated grays and browns and reds and greens. So I thought that adding a little more saturated color to the cape might help. It looks like it's made of fur. I don't know what kind of fur it is, but it could be anything. So here I'm just adding some highlight to the cloth, the wrappings on the spear, just defining the object a little bit better. All right, now on these pouches, different materials have different textures, so I'm just adding a little bit of texture here. I probably could have gone ahead and done the same on the pants, looking back at it now, but oh well. A little off-white in the teeth and some metallic for the spear tip, and then onto the eyes. These eyes were very large and forgiving, so it was no trouble at all maintaining a crazed look. And then one of the final steps is to paint the base rim black And I went back again and added a little bit of a dark gray wash just to bring a little bit more contrast to the stone there. And this is the final model. Definitely something I'm much more happy with, and I would be happy putting on the tabletop. It didn't take that much longer from the initial 15-minute paint job. So if this video at all inspired you, or if you've done a similar challenge, let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to see how many people have tried this themselves. And if you liked this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.